Welcome to the hut.
Hey,
Hey, I'm Brick.
I'm Sheesa.
We're gonna introduce ourselves even though you don't like it.
Yeah, I know. I know. If
So
there
anyway,
is video, don't mind my hair.
it looks fine. I like it actually.
It's just not curling how I want it to curl.
Fair enough.
That's all.
Fair enough. So,
What you got for me?
I was debating whether to do this topic or not
Yeah.
because it's not really about a haunting,
Uh-huh.
but it is paranormal.
Okay, I'll take it.
All right. Have you heard of Mount Shasta?
I've heard of Mount Shasta, yeah.
There's lots of stories about Mount Shasta.
Where's it at? Where's it located?
It's in Northern California.
Okay, yeah.
Yes. Oh, this is gonna be fun. So, it's part of the Shasta Trinity National Forest,
Okay.
and it's about 14,000 feet above sea level.
It's a little high for me.
It's the tallest volcano in California.
Oh, it's a volcano.
It's a volcano. I don't think it's an active volcano.
I'll say it must not be.
But here's what's confusing, because there was like lava fires there like recently.
Oh.
So like maybe it's active.
Maybe it's gonna be woken up.
I don't know.
Gonna be
I
a
don't
trip.
know. But there's a lot to this.
Oh, nice.
What have you heard about Mount Shasta?
I've just heard of it.
Oh,
I haven't
okay.
really heard anything.
Oh, this is gonna be fun then. This is gonna be fun. So
Crazy.
So, it's believed that the area around Mount Shasta has been inhabited by humans since the Ice Age.
Oh.
So this is a very old area. It's known to be a spiritual vortex. And what's interesting about this is because it's a volcano, there's a lot of like tunnels and caves that were created by lava inside of the mountain.
So it's a lot of energy just running all through there.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So it also sits on a major ley line, which is like, so ley lines are like where energetic paths connect.
All right.
Yep. And a lot of people believe that it's a major chakra of the earth. If you believe in chakras.
Yeah, I don't know why would they put a chakra in California?
They didn't put it there. It's naturally occurring, right? You don't control ley lines.
Maybe.
Well, anyway, so I'm going to start by telling you some of the Native American legends around Mount Shasta.
Love it.
Because weirdly enough, they tie into some of the stories.
Okay.
Some of them do. So, there's a lot of native tribes that are from the area, and some of them can date back to 12 centuries, some of them earlier than that. So, like, it's an old area that has a lot of Native American ties.
Right.
There were petroglyphs that were found at Mount Shasta believed to be 6,000 years old. Some people think they're older.
Oh.
So,
Okay.
that's kind of cool.
That's really cool.
Yeah. So, Shasta is actually the name of a native tribe in the area.
Yeah.
So that's where the mountain gets its name. A lot of the natives believe that you do not go above the tree line at Mount Shasta because above the tree line belongs to the sky people.
Okay. All right.
And Chief Skell is a sky deity who they believe lives within the mountain.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a story. So I don't know, have you heard of Crater Lake?
Yeah.
Okay, so Crater Lake is in Oregon, which is right kind of next to where Mount Shasta is. And there's a story that Chief Skell lived in Mount Shasta, and a guy named Lau lived in Mount Mazuma, and Lau was an underworld deity. Skell is a sky deity.
Okay.
Skell started throwing lava at Lau in like a war, right?
Okay.
They're opposites.
Yeah.
Yep. Which created Crater Lake.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
So that's that story.
That's pretty cool.
And I also think it's interesting because Crater Lake is considered to be the domain of all evil in some cultures.
Is it really?
Yes.
Oh.
Crater Lake is fascinating. Because
I never really looked into it. I saw that it was called Crater Lake, so I was like, oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, and the mountain is still like in the middle of it. Like, it's really cool.
Oh.
Because it was Mount Mazuma.
Oh. Then
And Mount Mazuma exploded.
Right.
Creating Crater Lake.
Oh.
Because it was a volcano.
Oh.
Yeah. That was a while ago. But
Right.
yeah. So there's also a story where Chief Skell's daughter was abducted by a bear. And thus... A bear, yes.
Okay.
And thus gave birth to a race of giants.
Oh.
Yes. So these giants are what you and I would call Bigfoot.
Okay.
So we're gonna start with Bigfoot. These stories get weirder and weirder as we go.
Okay.
So California comes up as the second state with the most Bigfoot reportings.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they're all along that coast there,
right.
is where they're mostly seen. Washington is number one.
That's fair.
But Mount Shasta is known as a hotspot for Bigfoot sightings. People
That's
go
probably
out there.
why I've heard of it, because I do read a lot about Bigfoot.
Well, there you go then. Yeah, people will like go out there on expeditions to search for Bigfoot. Do you know Kesha, the singer?
Yeah, her show?
Yes. She went there
She
on her
goes
show.
there? Oh,
yes.
okay,
yep,
I haven't.
Yep. And
It's on my list of things to watch.
yeah, it's interesting. I didn't watch the entire episode, but I kind of like skimmed it.
Okay.
But I don't know, it's very interesting because she talks to like some of the people who live there.
Mm.
And like everyone there said they moved there because of Mount Shasta. Because like people just feel like drawn to this mountain.
Wow.
Like, yeah. And everyone there too, she's asked like who here thinks that things that happen at Mount Shasta are paranormal, and everybody raised their hand.
Wow.
But anyway, so they spend a good amount of time on that episode looking for Bigfoot.
Right.
I don't think they actually find anything, but they do hear a lot of weird things and have feelings of being watched. So it's interesting. It's fun.
Right.
In 1930, in a town called Redding, which is 60 miles south of Mount Shasta, there was an abnormally large skeleton found, which was believed to belong to Bigfoot.
Okay.
That's interesting.
Wow.
Yeah.
So they think that there's more than just one Bigfoot, right?
Yeah, it's like a race of
hidden
animals.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yes.
Species.
Yes.
All right.
Now we're going to move on to UFO sightings.
I love a good UFO sighting.
Oh, it's fun. So, in the past century, there have been over 50 UFO sightings at Mount Shasta, reported UFO sightings at Mount Shasta.
Right.
And that number has gone up dramatically in the last 10 years. Like, crazy.
Really?
Yes.
Ooh.
And this gets interesting into some of the theories later on, but we'll get there. So in 2008, there was a report of a giant glowing jellyfish, is how it was described.
Wait.
It just kind of...
A giant glowing jellyfish?
Yes, a giant glowing jellyfish.
Is there a picture?
No, there's no picture. But there have been multiple reports of people seeing this.
This giant glowing jellyfish?
Yes.
In the sky?
Yes.
All right.
So it just kind of floated around the town near there and just kind of went off into the distance.
And that was it?
And that was it, yeah. Yep. And what was also interesting, if you look up Mount Shasta, there's always really weird cloud formations at the peak.
Really?
It's so fascinating, yes. It almost like blankets over it. And a lot of times they look like UFOs, where they have like the dome on the top and then
the clouds do this.
Yes, the clouds do
on
this.
top of the mountain.
Yes. And there's,
it's
scientists...
like the peak is like covered with clouds.
Yes.
In these weird forms.
Yes. And, scientists have reasons for it, but I still think it's weird because no other mountain does that.
Right.
And there's really weird clouds. There's one where I think it was during a sunset because the cloud is orange, but it looks like a UFO.
It's like it's glowing.
But it's a cloud, yeah.
Hmm.
It's really interesting.
Interesting.
This guy named Jack Tom, who is from the Karuk tribe, who lives in the area, talks about how he will oftentimes, he says this stuff like this happens all the time, it doesn't even faze him anymore. But he says he once saw the mountain open up.
Huh?
Yeah, he saw the mountain open up, saw a UFO hovering there for a minute, the UFO disappeared and the mountain closed back up. And he's like, yeah, it doesn't even faze me anymore.
No disrespect.
There's...
Were you on some psychedelic...
I mean, listen, it's a possibility, right?
But, yeah. Like, were you on some if you were, just say that. Because...
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but if the whole mountain opened up, you would hear that. It would cause a little shake.
Not necessarily.
Yes. That's a lot of rock.
That's true, but... Yeah, okay.
That's insane.
Yeah. And like I said, I didn't say this, but he's the only one that I got that story from.
Right.
I didn't hear that from other places, so skeptical about that one.
I'm a little skeptical about the one,
but we're going to talk about him later, because he does come up again later.
Ooh.
He has another story,
Ooh.
which is interesting.
This one's interesting, too.
Yes.
The whole thing opened up.
Yes. So now, we're going to move on to missing persons.
Look, National Forest and Parks and Missing Persons, 411.
But Mount Shasta's weird. These aren't your normal missing person stories. So, another thing that's weird about this is they don't have a number as to how many people have actually gone missing at Mount Shasta. They just...
How do they not have a number?
Because they just don't know.
Okay.
And they say people have gone missing there since forever. Like, it's just... Since before it was a national park.
It's just littered with bones.
I mean,
people, possibly.
Possibly.
The
There's theories about it, though. You're on the right track.
Am I? Oh, awesome.
So, in August 2000, so fairly recently, sort of, sort of.
August of 2000? It's not recently.
That was 23 years ago. That's in our history. That's not like ancient. This mountain has been around since before time, okay? So that's fairly recently in the history of the mountain.
Okay, I guess so. All right. Okay.
A 70-year-old woman named Rosemary Kunst signs up for a week spiritual cleanse at Mount Shasta. Okay? There's a lot of like spiritual stuff going on there. Like people do spiritual retreats there all the time.
I'm sure.
There's weird
very
energy
high
there.
Energy there.
Yeah. So she had recently been in a pretty bad car accident that had killed her husband. So this was kind of what prompted her to... Yes.
She's very sad.
Yes, this is kind of what prompted her to go on this week cleanse. And during this week, she decides to just kind of wander off on her own, kind of, connect with nature, as one does.
You don't wander off from the retreat.
Well, they saw her go to the other side of the lake. It was Spirit Lake, I believe.
You don't wander away. Okay. All right. All right.
So they see her on the other side of the lake, right? And that was the last time anyone saw her. She, there's no clues as to where she went, no signs of struggle, no blood. They, for months afterwards, were checking bear scat to see if there were any remains. Nothing. Just poof. Gone.
This is why you don't wander away from the crowd. Because when they get you by yourself, when they get you, you stay with the crowd. You stay with people. What the hell? She's just gone.
She's just gone.
No, nothing.
Nope, nothing. There was no sign of her. Like, her backpack and everything, gone. Isn't that weird?
Interesting.
That's not the only story like that at Mount Shasta either.
Really?
Yeah. There's another one from 1999 where there were 3 experienced hikers. We got Carl Landers, Milt Gaines, and Barry Gilmore. Decided to hike up to the summit of Mount Shasta. And they were going to take their time.
Going past the tree line?
Yes. Oh yeah, a lot of people go past the tree line. The natives don't, but a lot of people do.
We really need to listen to the natives. They know what they talk about.
Right.
We need to listen to them.
So there's this place on this trail called 50/50. And a lot of people, if they hike up to the summit, will camp out there for the night. Mm-hmm. And then about 650 feet away from that is Lake Helen. So it's not very far at all, right? So these 3 guys camp out at 50-50 for the night. In the morning, they wake up, start packing up their stuff. Milt and Barry notice that Carl's looking a little cold, so they're like, hey, go on ahead, you can wait for us at Lake Helen. We'll finish packing up, yada yada. So he starts walking.
Why would you send your friend by himself?
Because he looked cold. He didn't want to be like, he needed to be moving more.
Then walk around in a circle.
But anyway, so he leaves. Milt and Barry finish packing up, and they go to meet up with Carl at Lake Helen. Now, it's important to understand here there is no place to disappear to. They're above the tree line already, so there's not a lot of trees around. It's like a straight path, basically. And they get up to Mount Helen. Carl's not there.
Because you let him stray from the pack. He probably fell.
Well, that's the other thing, too. There's no footprints or anything. Like, there was snow. So, they had a week-long search and rescue, which resulted in nothing. They even pulled up, like, satellite stuff to see if there was any, like, seismic activity on the mountain. He was covered in an avalanche. Nothing.
He's just gone.
He's just gone. Just gone.
People are getting abducted.
So there's some other bizarre stories.
I can only imagine.
Oh, there's a lot of bizarre
stories. This entire time.
So, let me take a sip of my tea. In 2011, a 19-year-old named Michael Falvo went on a quest with a New Age religious group to Mount Shasta.
Okay.
So they spend the day...
Here we go.
They spend the day climbing the mountain, right?
Mm-hmm.
When they get back down to their camp, Michael takes off his shoes and just starts climbing right back up the mountain.
Huh?
Yeah.
Mm.
So...
Okay. All right.
He gave no reason to anybody why he was doing that. He just left. Just went right back up the mountain after hiking up and down the mountain for a day. Like, you would think you wouldn't have any energy, right? Like, you're ready for bed.
Maybe he had some spiritual awakening.
Well, except for that they found him the next day. He had passed out and died of exposure. And his parents wanted an autopsy done because they're like, there's no way drugs weren't involved. Like, that's so weird that he would just take off right back up the mountain. That's not a normal thing. The autopsy came back clean. Not even alcohol. Yeah, it's a weird one.
At least they found him.
And that's true. Yeah, he didn't just poof disappear.
Right, at least they found him. I was like,
I don't know. I'd rather disappear, I think.
I'd rather have my loved one's body back. Or
That's
some
true.
part of it.
But me, myself, I'd rather live with the aliens, I think. There's theories. We're going to get into it. Oh,
gosh, okay.
But we're still talking about other bizarre stories.
I see, yeah.
So also in 2011, this is one of the most famous stories to come out of Mount Shasta. A family was camping, and their 3-year-old boy went missing for 5 hours before they found him on the trail less than a half mile away from camp.
I remember hearing about that.
Which is like one of the first places they would look, right?
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
He was on the trail. He wasn't like in the woods at all.
Yeah.
So the story this kid tells is so bizarre.
I didn't know he told a story.
Oh, it gets weird. Like, it gets weird. So this boy says, while he was missing, he found a cave and saw that his grandma was in there. Yep, so he goes to talk to his grandma, and his grandma asks him to poop on a piece of paper for her.
To
Yep.
Poop?
Yes, to poop on a piece of paper for her. And
like feces?
Yes. Yep. And
okay.
The kid realizes that this is not his grandma. He explains it like she was a robot. Okay? So The boy was like, no, I don't have to go. Like,
He's 5.
yeah, 3.
3? Yeah. I'm sorry.
He's like, nah.
Fresh out. Fresh out. Sorry.
So, he doesn't really remember anything after that except waking up on the trail and then being found. It gets weirder. The family goes home from their camping trip. The boy goes to his grandma and tells the grandma the story. Well, the grandma, 2 weeks earlier, was camping at Mount Shasta with her friends.
Mm-hmm.
She woke up in the middle of the night because there was a stinging sensation on the back of her neck. She woke up one of her friends and had them look at it, and like right at the base of her neck, where like on her spinal cord, there was a puncture wound. So people think the aliens took her DNA to make this robot. The look on your face right now.
All right.
Yep.
Okay.
And then got a few other stories here. A lot of stories.
These are so bizarre.
Right? That's what I'm saying. Like, it's not a haunting, but it's like really like there's a whole rabbit hole.
Yeah.
Whole rabbit hole to go down.
Yeah.
Like this is so fascinating. And I actually kind of want to go to Mount Shasta. It looks gorgeous. It
Girl.
Does. It does.
We ain't leaving the trail. We ain't staying overnight.
Oh yeah, no, we'll take
We're
precautions.
not staying overnight.
Here's the thing though. I have my own beliefs about
We're
this.
not
And I don't
overnight.
I have my own beliefs about it and I'm not really afraid. Like
I'm a little sketched out right now.
Right, but these stories on their own are scary.
But we're not staying overnight.
Why not?
I don't do camping, for one. For two, you're lucky that you're going to get me to hike, okay?
They have cabins.
That's great.
I love nature. I'm a big, like...
I don't mind the nature.
Yeah.
I'm not staying overnight in the nature.
Okay.
We'll visit.
Okay. Fair enough.
But I'm not staying overnight.
That was on the Kesha episode. They were looking for Bigfoot at night.
Yeah.
No. Yeah. Fair enough.
I'll be strapped, too. Don't play with me.
You might think I'm, like, actually legitimately crazy after I'm done with this, because I do have really bizarre beliefs about this.
You know what? I think you're crazy anyways.
That's
so
true.
It's
That's
nothing.
true.
This is nothing new to me.
That's true. So in 1906, this is another one of the famous stories from Mount Shasta. And this is an older story, so I don't know how much of it is actually true. It's kind of one of those, like, legend stories, right?
Yeah.
In 1906, a man named J.C. Brown was hired to prospect for gold in the Mount Shasta area.
Okay.
So while he was digging for gold, he stumbles upon what he says was a sacred records room.
Huh?
He said there were records of lost civilizations and mummies of giants.
Wait, so he was just prospecting. He's walked up and found a room?
Yeah. It was like hidden in the mountain.
A room.
Yes.
With the door.
Yes.
A room.
Yes. Yes.
In a mountain.
Oh, it gets weirder than this.
Okay.
If this is weirding you out, just wait.
I'm
wait.
Really confused. Okay. So he found a room.
Yes.
In the mountain with mummies.
Giants. Mummified giants.
What's the definition of giants?
They were like 8 feet tall.
Because my father-in-law's like 6'5", 6'4".
He's not 8 feet.
He's big. People call him a giant.
Okay. They were normal than the average, or above normal. Okay. Yeah.
Well, back then,
taller than
back
the
then,
person.
5'7" was normal height for a man. So we'll just
see. Yes. So they could be 5'7". We don't know. We don't actually know what he saw.
Okay, so mummified giants and records of lost civilizations.
Yes. So he tells people, what he found, and about 30 years later,
he didn't take nothing back with him.
No, because he was afraid. Like he like you stumble across that, I wouldn't touch anything. You know what I mean? Like there's curses on everything. I wouldn't touch anything. Okay. Would you take a mummified giant and just bring it back with you?
I wouldn't take a mummified giant. No.
But anyway, so
piece of paper, maybe.
and this is one thing that doesn't make sense to me because it's not till 30 years later that he gathers or like starts like an expedition to go back and catalog everything that he found there.
30 years.
Yes, 30 years later. So he gathers around 80 people for this expedition. And the morning that they're set to go out and find this little cave room and catalog everything, J.C. Brown is nowhere to be found. No one ever saw or heard from him again. I'm telling you, these stories are fascinating.
Just gone.
Ah!
Just gone?
Just gone.
Hey. All right.
Yep.
Okay. Interesting.
So we'll never know what he actually found.
Not at all.
Yeah.
Not at all.
So
could have made a map. But
yeah, you know, who knows?
Given a few people. Here's a map.
Well, and maybe he knew where to go back.
He probably knew. He probably did.
Like, yeah, but no one else does.
Exactly. Map would be nice.
No, to self, always draw a map.
Always draw.
My map would be so bad. It'd just be like a little squiggly line, and here it is.
Hey. Put some landmarks on there. Find your way to anything.
I have the worst sense of direction.
Me too. So
it wouldn't work out too
well.
well.
A string.
Ooh, there you go. String. Bring string when we go to Mount Shasta.
Rope. Forget a string. Rope.
Little breadcrumbs.
Rope.
Okay.
A thick one. Even a chain.
No, people, I think for the most part, are safe. I do. Listen. Okay, we'll get into it later. So in 1930, this guy named Guy Ballard,
A guy named Guy?
Yes, a guy named Guy, was a mining engineer canvassing the area of Mount Shasta, and he came across a mysterious ethereal figure. Like a live being. Okay? This figure introduced himself as an ascended master. Do you know what that is referring to?
No.
So in spirituality, ascended masters are people who have fully ascended. So like, Jesus is considered an ascended master. There's others.
Okay.
But you know, like, there are people who have fully understood themselves spiritually.
Okay.
So he introduces himself as an ascended master and goes on to teach Ballard the secrets of enlightenment. So, I'm not sure how familiar you are with manifestation, but there is a method of manifestation called the I am method. You familiar with that?
Mm-hmm.
So, if anyone's not familiar, it's instead of saying I want to be a billionaire, you say I am a billionaire.
Yeah.
To manifest becoming a billionaire. Ballard is credited with starting this movement, the I am movement, as they called it.
Okay.
And he claims he learned this from this ascended master, who people have named Saint Germain.
All right.
Yep.
Once again, was there psychedelics involved?
I don't know.
What time was that? What time that happened?
That was in 1930.
LSD wasn't then. Maybe opium. Raw opium, maybe.
Maybe. It's possible. It's
Mm.
possible.
And some morphine. That's what he was doing.
But also, the I am is a pretty... It's a pretty powerful thing, in my opinion. And it's just, I did not know where that came from until I was doing research on this. I was like, oh.
That's insane.
Right?
Maybe I should.
Came from Mount Shasta. Do you want some now?
No, I'm good.
All right.
I'll be up.
So we're going back to Jack, if you remember the Native American, yes, who saw the mountain open up. So, like all natives, he was told to never go above the tree line at Mount Shasta.
Did he go above the tree line?
Yes, he did. He was camping with his girlfriend, and they ended up setting up tent right above the tree line. This is an interesting story because his girlfriend was also there, had the same experience.
Okay.
So they got everything set up, and Jack was kind of nervous. He's like, maybe we should like pull it back a little bit, go back into the trees. And the girlfriend's like, no, we're fine here. Like this is.
Is the girlfriend native?
I don't know.
Probably not.
Probably not. Yes. So they just kind of got settled down, and they both look over and see two tall people standing up at the mountain wearing robes, just looking at them.
Oh no. Oh no.
They.
Absolutely not.
So they look over there and they're like, okay, are they really there? Because we're both seeing this. This is weird. Let's close our eyes and open them and see if they're still there. So they do that 3 times before these people disappear.
Oh, hell no. Absolutely not.
So.
What? No, I would running down the hill.
Well, they weren't doing anything. And Jack explains, like,
I don't care. You saw people on top of this mountain about to sleep there? I don't think so. Oh, no. Oh, no. Running back, leaving everything behind. Running back down, get in the car and leaving, skedaddling out of there. I think the fuck not.
Well, Jack explains that he was terrified, which makes sense. But he says he also felt like a weird, like, welcoming and accepting energy.
No.
No?
The way my black ass is set up, my terrified, bye-bye. I ain't sticking around. No.
That's fair. That's fair.
No, ma'am.
They might have moved to their tent. I actually don't know.
I would have done more than moved the tent. I'm running away.
They didn't do anything, though. They just watched them.
Don't. Frick. Look. I don't want to be watched. The fact that you're this creepy person, too tall, mind you, tall, up there wearing, what, cloaks? Robes?
Mm-hmm.
Why?
Why not?
Why? Being weird.
Yeah.
Standing there, what?
Yep.
No.
So.
No.
There's stories about these people in robes.
Oh, Lord. Here we go. Look. Nothing good happens in robes.
True, but
nothing
also not
good happens in robes.
I mean, listen. My bathrobes are very comfortable.
Look. Not those robes. Did I say a bathrobe? That's a robes.
You said robes. Bathrobes are robes. They're comfortable.
KKK.
Oh.
How many of those religions that made everybody wear the flowy robes and stuff, so they all looked as one?
Yeah.
All those it's nothing good happens in a robe.
Okay, I get your point.
The KKK's a big one.
Yeah. Yep, I get it. But let's keep an open mind. Your face.
I'm gonna keep up with mine one more time. Nothing good happens in a robe.
Okay, fair enough. Yep.
Oh my gosh. And they're tall. Oh god.
So, stories of these tall people date back to about 150 years. Probably longer than that, but the first record of, like, people talking about them is 150 years ago.
Okay.
And a lot of people credit these beings for all of the weird stuff that happens around Mount Shasta.
Yeah, I believe it.
Yep.
You being weird.
Yep.
Don't come and stand. Look from behind a tree.
Yep.
You can stay quiet. You obviously can be invisible. Keep it that way.
Keep it that way. They can be invisible.
Yeah, keep it that way. Keep it that way. I don't want.
No, listen. It gets weirder. And I kind of believe the good side of this. We'll see. You probably might not land on that. But
you're probably not going to land.
No.
Probably not.
The weird thing about this too is, like, when I was researching this, multiple times I just got, like, full body chills. Multiple times. Which is one of the reasons I wanted to talk about it too, because I'm like, this, like, has some weird connection with me in my heart. Like, I don't know. It's weird.
I'm nervous for you.
For me?
Yeah.
I told you you're going to think I'm insane.
Nervous and you want to go to this place?
Yes.
Look.
You got to look up pictures. It looks gorgeous.
I'm sure it's beautiful.
I just want to feel what the energy feels like.
But I don't want to lose my friend.
I won't be lost.
You're staying handcuffed and keyed to me if we go. No.
Fair enough.
No, because you be the one to go running off. Absolutely not.
I would not run off. Well, I guess I don't know if I would. I guess people do kind of lose their minds, huh?
You'd be locked in a room. You'll be locked in a room. Leave it.
So.
Oh my gosh, I don't think we should go. I don't think we should
You
go.
don't think we should go?
No, because you
gotta wait till I get to this next part.
Okay, fine.
Because these next stories kind of make all of this seem not as scary.
Okay, we'll see.
So, we're going to backtrack a little bit.
Okay.
And this is where I'm going to lose some people, because people are going to think I'm actually legitimately insane.
I already think that, so.
But, like, here's the thing. You can't do research on Mount Shasta without this coming up. Like, you actually can't. It talks about this on the Mount Shasta website.
Oh, okay.
Which is, like, weird, because this is way out there.
Yeah.
This gets into, like, weird alien stuff, right? And they talk about it on the Mount Shasta website.
Okay.
Like, it's Mount Shasta, this comes up.
Okay.
So, in 1864, a zoologist by the name of Philip Scatler proposed this idea of Lemuria. Have you heard of Lemuria?
No.
Okay. Have you heard of Atlantis?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, Lemuria was around the same time as Atlantis. This is the belief. And they were both continents that were, they had a lot of technology. Mm-hmm. Like, they were very
advanced,
yes, very advanced civilizations.
And they were lost underwater.
And, yes, the theory is they were lost underwater. A big theory is that Lemuria and Atlantis were at war with each other, and that was their downfall.
And they both just lost.
They both sunk each other. Yeah.
That's stupid.
So Philip Scatler came up with this idea. He called it Lemuria because he theorized that this was how lemurs would migrate from Madagascar to India and Africa. They were able to just walk across this continent that no longer exists.
Okay.
So
I don't think a zoologist should be able to but teach their own.
Well, it gets interesting.
Okay.
So Lemuria was thought to be really, really large. It started in the Indian Ocean and ended up in the Pacific Ocean. So it was a very large continent. And this theory is actually validated by the ancient oral traditions of the native Hawaiian people. They say that the islands of Hawaii are now all that's left of what was once Lemuria.
The islands of Hawaii were made by volcanoes.
That were from Lemuria.
Okay.
So, lost or sunken ancient continents have, like, pretty much been disproven by the whole plate tectonic theory. But, like...
I don't know about that. I feel like there's stuff.
Because super recently, they've discovered a sunken continent near New Zealand.
Really?
Yes, it's called Zealandia. Like, look it up. Like, this was very recent. So I really need someone who knows more about this than me to, like, explain to me.
They found a sunken continent?
Yes.
How'd they find that?
It's like, they call it, like, a mini continent, but it's in the ocean.
It's, like, part of, like, Pangea, and it kind of, fell.
Probably, yeah.
When the whole thing was shifting and stuff.
Something like that, yeah.
Okay.
But they found an entire continent in the ocean. So, I need someone who knows more to explain to me how it's impossible, yet here we are discovering sunken continents.
Right, yeah.
So, I don't know. I feel like, because science disproved the existence of Lemuria, right? But now also we're finding this continent. So, like, science is always changing. Yeah. I'm not saying science is not real. I'm just saying we don't know what we don't know.
Right.
And there's more that we don't know than we know.
Yeah.
So you gotta keep an open mind about everything.
Mm-hmm.
So, Lemuria is really important in occultist and spiritual beliefs because it's considered to be the birthplace of humans, and also it's where the idea of magic comes from.
I'm gonna have to look into that.
Yes.
Because
very, very fascinating. So, the reason I bring up Lemuria, it's widely believed that when the continent sank, either due to natural disaster or because of war with Atlantis, some Lemurians survived on Hawaii, and others fled to Mount Shasta.
Okay.
Because if you think of how big the continent was, it probably stretched up that way.
Oh, I'm thinking of the map and it just ends.
Yeah, no.
No, Nikisha, that wraps around the globe.
No, yep, it's
okay.
all connected.
Okay, so that makes sense, yeah.
Okay. Yes.
I get it.
So that's what's fascinating about this is people don't really think they're aliens. They think they're extraterrestrials, yes, but more advanced version of humans, basically.
Huh.
It's fascinating. And that's who they think the people in the robes are.
Cool. That's great. Don't do that weird shit with me. Don't come standing there looking at me.
I don't think they would.
They better not.
Yeah, they wouldn't. They wouldn't.
Because, girl, I'm telling you, I'm be packing.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
You liable.
Okay. So, in 1866, or 1886, a man named Frederick S. Oliver writes a book called A Dweller on Two Planets. This book does not get published until 1905, about 6 years after his death. So, when Frederick Oliver was 17 years old, this is the story, he was mapping out his family's property line at the base of Mount Shasta. He, all of a sudden, uncontrollably begins writing. Just, he can't control it, he just starts writing. Since then, it would happen on occasion until after 3 years he had written this entire book, which was A Dweller on Two Planets.
Okay.
So he claims this entire book was written by automatic writing, is what it's called.
Uh-huh.
So in this book, we get the idea of telos.
Of what?
Telos is what it's called.
Okay.
And Telos is the name of the city inside Mount Shasta where the Lemurians live. Huh?
There's a city.
There's a city. There's a
whole civilization.
A whole civilization.
In this mountain.
Yes.
Hold on, let me just... How big is this mountain?
So, the other thing about this, though, is it's believed to be a portal.
Is that SH or CH?
SH. So...
Okay, see, I thought it was more like a little hill.
Oh, no, this is a real mountain. And it's also interesting, too, because it kind of ties in with all the tunnels and caves that are in there because of it being a volcano. Like, there's fascinating theories about this.
Is a skate park there?
Yeah, there's a lot there.
I mean, it's very beautiful.
Right?
It's a museum.
You don't just look at it and be like, oh, that'd be so pretty. The weird cloud formations. I'm telling you, there's weird ones. There's really weird ones.
Wait, it just circled.
Yeah.
It's just like...
Yeah. Yeah. A lot of people think that happens intentionally to hide UFOs.
I mean...
Yeah.
Whoa, wait a minute.
What are you looking at? Oh, the cloud formations.
I'm just looking like this.
I'm telling you, they're weird. And how cool would it be to see that in person?
Wait a minute. What in...
Yeah. Yeah, I don't understand how science has an explanation for that.
What is
weird.
This door?
What door?
Oh, it's a mine.
Yeah, there's a lot of caves and tunnels.
People mined there?
Oh, yeah.
What is this? What is this?
Yeah, those are the clouds. I'm telling you, it's bizarre.
What the... I'm tripping balls. Holy... Look, look here. Look, what?
There's like...
Why? Yo!
It's fun to just look at
Yo.
pictures. I love just like looking at pictures because there are so many weird ones.
Yo. This is weird.
Right? Do you want to go there now or no?
Finish your story.
Okay.
What?
So
what is this? What is that? What is that?
that's the one I was talking
That's
about.
not
the
a
weird
cloud.
orange cloud.
That's not a cloud.
Is it a UFO?
It's something, but it's not a cloud.
I'm thinking that might be the glowing jellyfish. Yes. 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 Yes.
What is that one?
I'm sure this is very fascinating for people who have no idea what we're looking
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
This is trippy.
I'm so glad you didn't know any of this, because this wouldn't have been as fun.
This is so weird.
I know.
Oh my god. I mean, you're not wrong. It is beautiful.
Right? You want to go there, don't you?
I'm not saying yes or no to nothing.
Okay. Fair enough.
I'll tell you at the end.
Fair enough. Okay, so...
I make a decision up in my head.
Yeah.
I don't even know myself.
Fair enough. Got it. Okay. So, A Dweller of Two Planets, this book written by Frederick S. Oliver. He describes the city of Telos as being powered by crystal energy. And it's heavily illuminated. Mind you, it's all underground. And he talks about quantum mechanics, anti-gravity, and mass transit, which are all things that did not exist yet.
I'd say that stuff was not a thing back in that day.
No. Which I find fascinating. That's why I kind of believe in the crystal energy stuff, because we figured everything else out, right?
Yeah.
Like, this is making a little bit of sense. He also says that Telos cannot be accessed without a Lemurian invitation. So, like, someone from Telos has to be like, hey, come on in.
So what they're kind of thinking here maybe is the people that have disappeared had a Lemurian invitation, and now they're in.
Now they're in Telos.
Huh.
Mm-hmm. See, it's not so scary anymore, right? Because they need to... Because, like, they have to have consent. Right? Like, it doesn't sound like the Lemurians are going to kidnap people. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know that.
That's true. I don't know that, but I just got a gut feeling.
Unpredictable.
True. Very true.
Okay.
So, since that book, there have been countless other books about this. There's a lot of them out there. A lot of psychic mediums claim they can channel Lemurians and will write about this. A lot of stuff. So, Lemurians are believed to be fifth dimensional beings, which means, so...
What are we?
We are three-dimensional beings. So,
who's fourth?
See, this is where it gets kind of tricky. I don't have a full grasp of understanding all of this, but from what I understand, first and second dimension are like demons and whatnot. Third dimension and fourth dimension are humans. Fourth and fifth dimension are like spirits and angels. So, like, you're able to communicate to the dimension right above or below you.
Got it.
Is what I kind of see it as.
Okay.
And you can change dimensions because it's all about your vibration. It's like all about your energy.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
I guess.
So, like, when people see Lemurians, they have to lower their energy in order to be seen by three-dimensional people. Does that make sense?
Okay.
You look very skeptical.
I'm not grasping that, but okay.
Okay. I don't fully understand it. I know there's, like, it's all about energy.
Mm-hmm.
And you can't see energy. It's difficult to understand.
Yeah.
So it is what it is. They are commonly seen as a light blue column, like a blue column of light. I said that really weird. So people have reported seeing them as a blue column of light. So kind of like a ghostly whatever.
Okay.
And when they look like people, they are about 7 to 8 feet tall.
There's the problem.
They are usually pale and blonde. And people say they look like people, but they don't feel like people. Which, don't know what that means.
So pale and blonde, Sultan. Got it.
Yeah. From what I can tell, a lot of the local people who live there pretty much believe it as fact that the Lemurians live inside Mount Shasta. Like, people who live in that area just kind of believe that because they're like, yeah, it is what it is. Like,
Okay.
this is kind of another reason I want to go because I just want to like feel what the energy is like because like it sounds insane,
It does sound insane.
right?
It does sound actually insane.
And I just kind of want to like see if I feel anything. Anyway, in 2020, this is the last story I have for you, but this is a weird one.
Okay.
This man named Lowell Johnson went up to Mount Shasta with his son, and this was like right during the pandemic, so everything was kind of still in lockdown.
Mm-hmm.
And he said he was kind of looking for parks to visit because lockdown
They're
was
bored.
right.
Yeah.
And he realized that a lot of parks were closed.
Yeah.
Mount Shasta was not closed, so he went to Mount Shasta with his son. And after a full day of hiking, goes home, goes to bed. He's like, wow, I'm exhausted. He's like, so he's an older guy,
Mm-hmm.
and his son is an adult. So like,
Okay.
so he's exhausted. He's like, I'm not going to do anything tomorrow. We're just going to take it easy, relax. He wakes up the next morning and is like, no, I think I'm going to go hiking again. He says it's just what his gut was telling him to do. So he goes hiking. He sits down for a bit, leans against the side of the mountain, and gets up, turns around. Where he was leaning is now a door.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
It was an open door. So he kind of walks in, and he says he sees someone like standing kind of a ways down in this tunnel. And
Absolutely not.
This guy says, do you want to see Telos? Now, he says the first time he heard of Telos was when he was going to Mount Shasta. He said you get there and there's like books about it everywhere. Like it's the town advertises it. So he said that was the first time he'd heard about it. So it had only been like a few days and he was like, oh, Telos, yeah.
Yeah.
So he kind of goes, well, sure. He follows this guy, and this guy introduces himself. He says, I'm Alex. And he goes, cool, that's my son's name. And he goes, yeah, I know. So.
Okay.
So he says they sit down on this little chair thing, and it starts to move. And he says it was really weird because he knew they weren't moving, but he didn't feel the sensation of moving. And he said they went through a tunnel, which was like a kaleidoscope of a bunch of different like his story gets so in depth, it's insane. And so he goes through this tunnel, right? Ends up in Telos. He says he like sees all these Lemurians, makes eye contact with a bunch of them. And Alex is telling him all about Telos. There's different levels to it. Each level has its own thing. So, like, one level will be, like, food. One level will be, like, art or something, whatever, right? Each level has its own thing. And he goes in, he says, he also said everything was powered by crystals. He didn't know that. He didn't know anything about Telos. He had heard the name 2 days before because he was at Mount Shasta. Didn't know anything about it.
Wow.
So it said everything was powered by crystals. And he asked, like, why me? Like, why are you showing me all of this? And Alex, don't even think that was his name. I think he just kind of said that because it was his son's name.
Right.
But so Alex says, well, you're one of the few people who can handle this fifth dimension vibration. So
Okay.
So that was the reason they gave. And you can look this up. He goes on and on about this. Like, there's so much to this story. It goes way in depth and it's insane. And like, before he leaves, he asks, like, can I tell people about this? And Alex is like, yes, we want you to tell people because at this moment, the planet is going through a major shift, and we want people to know that we are here to help them through it.
Right.
And then he wakes up on the trail. He doesn't wake up, he just kind of like appears back on the trail.
All right.
And that's his story.
All right. Okay.
And so that's a little glimpse of Mount Shasta for you.
That's insane.
Right?
That's insane.
Right?
Right?
Yeah. And Lowell Johnson's story is validated by other medium psychic people.
Really?
So,
you know,
a lot of people have claimed that they've astral projected to tell us, and I don't know anything about astral projection.
Scares me.
It scares me a little bit
Scares
too.
me.
I don't know a lot about that, so I don't know how true that is, but
yeah.
But all these stories seem to go with one another, and I don't know if that's because, like, subconsciously people have heard about these. And, like,
and they're just kind of putting it in.
Yes. But also, it's kind of fun to believe that there's Lemurians in Mount Shasta.
I mean, the stories, like you said, alone were terrifying.
Right? And now it doesn't seem as scary when you get the full picture,
I get a calm sensation about it, and it freaks me out.
It freaks you out that you get a calm sensation about it?
Yeah, like, I'm drawn to it, and I want to go to it.
You understand how I feel.
But I feel calm and, like, safe.
Yes,
that makes sense.
That's how I feel.
And I don't like that.
Why don't you like that?
It's just because it's a weird place.
It is weird.
It's a weird place.
It is weird, but I don't know. Like, my gut tells me, yeah, trust the Lemurians.
So if you were to see a door pop up, would you go into it?
I don't know. I honestly don't know.
Okay.
I don't know.
Something's telling me I would go, but then my other inside of me is like, bitch, you would not go into that damn door inside of a mountain.
See, that's kind of how I feel too. Like, I would want to go, but also wouldn't want to. It's the fear of the unknown, right?
My first question would be, can I come back to my family and my kids? Like, I gotta go back.
Well, and that's the thing. Lowell Johnson came back.
Yeah.
Because he told this story.
Yeah. That's insane.
Yeah. I don't know. That's fascinating.
It's really fascinating.
Oh, it's really fun to research because there are so many rabbit holes to go down.
Clearly.
So many.
Clearly.
Like, it's a lot.
So many.
Like, I even just very briefly touched on Bigfoot, but there's a lot.
Yeah. Like, what? That's insane.
Mm-hmm.
That's so insane. I can't even fathom. Wow.
So yeah, that's Mount Shasta.
Insane.
Yeah.
Insane. The membrane.
Right. Now everyone thinks I'm insane. Woohoo.
That's fine. It happens.
It does.
Wow.
Yeah.
Trippy.
Right?
Trippy.
Crazy.
Literally crazy.
So yeah, now you understand. It's not really, like, haunted per se.
It's extraterrestrial stuff going on.
Yeah, there's
there.
a lot of weird stuff going on.
Yeah.
It's fun, I think.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. There's something in me that's like, yeah, it's Lemurians, even though I'm like, Lemurians don't really exist. You know, like, my logical side, that's true. My logical side is like, that's crazy.
Yeah.
You're insane. But then also I'm like,
but
this feels right. I don't know.
This feels accurate.
Yeah.
This feels like...
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's no logical explanation, but also, like I said, we don't know what we don't know. And I think there's more we don't know than we know.
Get 100 downloads.
She just checked our statistics and we got 100 people. Woohoo!
100 downloads.
Thanks, guys.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
You've already listened to the new one that came out today.
Ooh.
Exciting.
I wonder if it's on Apple yet. We're having issues with Apple Podcasts.
Yeah, we are having
so that's been fun to deal with that. But anyway, that's Mount Shasta, guys.
Woo!
Sweet. Tune in next time.
It's not gonna be this light. I'm telling you that right now.
Oh, it's probably gonna be a lot darker.
Oh, it's gonna be dark. It's dark. It's dark.
Oh, great.
We're going the complete opposite.
Well, stay tuned for that next time, guys. See you later. Bye.